Good morning. YaC, we normally here tell you how technologies change different industries, and today we'll be talking about media industry. And the media world has a lot of conferences. Part of the reports just predict that traditional media are on the verge of demise, and other presenters are very exciting about talking on new possibilities thanks to those modern technologies. And it's not accidental that we are on the threshold of media revolution and media consumption. And today we will be talking the ways technologies can be used in the rapidly changing media landscape. I would like to make a retrospective review. The first revolution was in 15th century when Gutenberg invented the printing machine. And then the second revolution when the internet was invented. Third revolution was generated by Zuckerberg, and when we had this like button, and then we had this a chance to share the information we liked. And social network is a unique instrument to distribute what you like. Your interests are all differ from your friends. You might be not interested in seeing pictures or breakfasts of others people going to the gym, but sometimes we just put like to not because we like it, but because we want to retain the connection. Therefore, we are very much confident that the next revolution in media consumption will be performed by the artificial intelligence. And modern intelligence can encompass the entire internet and find what is interesting to you. This is what Yandex.Zen is doing. They collect individual newsreel from entire internet according to your interests and rest. I recorded a streamcast and what is my Zen looking like today. I am interested in technology, business, and scientific science, popular literature, and there is also a place for jokes, especially at night when we relax. And here, this is the article about upbringing, because we have 2 boys in the family. My wife would send something to me quite regularly. Now I read in Zen the articles about children, even share it with my wife. Zen tries to expand the range of my interests, and they offer some new subject for me. And sometimes Zen makes a mistake. And then I correct it. My newsreel, my tape has information from several sources, and with the progress of using Zen, new publications were included. And how it works, it starts with the index of big web search, and then Zen identifies media sources from the millions of sites available in the internet, and then artificial intelligence has to come, and they start selecting what is needed, and then identifies objects and sorts out materials by subjects. Then also automatically adjusts itself to your needs and analyzes what cards you click and what you just look through. And we take into account the time of peering into this material and some other facts. And then you have a tape which is you feed, which is exactly suitable to your tastes and not the tastes of your friends. And Zen is available for Yandex browser, which is available for all popular platforms. If you like another browser, you can use Zen as Yandex application or with Yandex Launcher, or just coming to our main page. And I told you that the next revolution in media consumptions will be committed by artificial intelligence. Actually, this revolution is already happening. And this is the way how we compare the traffic generation of Yandex.Zen and social media. By the jumping to sites, the Zen overtook all social media. And this morning we added some special mark with all the reference from Yandex.Zen, and now you can evaluate a number of transitions at your site with the usual means of analysis. And these results were just reached by following this search paradigm. We are quite confident that by offering the content writers the instruments for monetizing it, you can do the media consumption even more exciting. Therefore, today we are opening a platform for publishers, for brands, and independent authors. And I again invite to the screen Danil Trabun, media director of Zen and the head of this project. Daniel, can you tell us what's ahead?
Victor, thank you very much, and hello to you all. Before starting my job in Yandex, I was a journalist for 10 years, and whatever is happening now with media signifies an important change. Now all publishers are fighting not only for good stories, but also for technologies. A great publication will never be seen without properly prepared video. Apart from that, everyone is equal in the internet. Journalists, companies, bloggers, they're all working on the same platforms, using the same tools, and they're competing for the same audiences. And during the last 6 months, we have been developing a platform for publishers, brands, and authors. But before talking about the details, I would like to talk about a couple of issues which may be a point of concern for everyone. The one thing is, how do you find your audience and how do you retain this audience? What is our key habit? All those people who have a smartphone in their hands, please raise the hands with a smartphone. Okay. This is our key habit, you see? We always keep surfing the web, we're looking at the screen, we're consuming information, and frankly speaking, we are becoming more and more, let's say, critical towards this information. We want it to be relevant. We want it to be uploaded as quickly as possible. We hate banners, we hate pop-up advertisements. We want to get our information quickly, and we want this information to be relevant. So the first question is, how do we retain our audience? That's one thing. And how do we make money in the internet? So what are the options? And today, we will provide you with an answer to both questions. Let's start with the audience first. From today onwards, Yandex.Zen is not only a content distribution platform, it is a platform for content creation. Any writer can get himself or herself registered in Yandex.Zen, set up a channel, and start posting materials with the help of Yandex.Zen. This information will be relevant and will be downloaded by users as quickly as possible. But how do you make money out of this? And here we have come up with 3 specific solutions for Publishers, brands, and writers. Let's start with the publishers first. I do remember how we wanted to fix the mobile version of a website in one of the journals because we lacked resources. Those people who lack resources for building a mobile version, Yandex.Zen is a great option. You don't have to invest into your mobile version of the website. Use Yandex.Zen. Use Yandex.Zen. Make advertising through Yandex.Zen. Start selling through Yandex.Zen. Apart from doing so, we will keep bringing people to your websites. And we will support all light versions of your pages, like Turbo page of Yandex. And it was you've seen this logo of Turbo page of Yandex. Now, a couple of words about brands. What are brands looking for? Brands are looking for interesting stories about their products. And that's what brands are doing now. Brands are ordering native advertising from publishers, and that's called sponsored content or partnership content, native advertising. This is what we believe in, and that's great. But other brands are making one step further. Some brands build their own, let's say, journals. There is a bank which has a blog, and in this blog they give users information about credit cards, proposals, and ways to save money. And there is a store which has excellent journal regarding do-it-yourself aspects, or energy drinks, which is energy drink blog, which is telling about extreme sports. We are inviting these brands to our platform so that they can tell more about their products, and we'll illustrate that with interesting things, and we'll show these contents to those users who may be interested in it. Well, we've mentioned big market players, we've mentioned brands and publishers. Let's talk about writers now. Whoever had their blog in the internet, please raise your hand. Facebook, LiveJournal, Telegram, whatever. So, well, please don't put your hand down. Please keep it up for now. Now, those who have not made any money out of it, please put your hand down. Okay, so there's still some people who used to earn some money. But that's the general situation. A lot of people are writing in the internet, but they're not making money. We are opening up an opportunity to independent authors. That means that it just takes several clicks. It just takes several clicks to start earning in Yandex.Zen through advertising. But not only we want our authors to make money on a daily basis, not only we want them to publish interesting content, we want them to develop themselves. We want them to keep writing increasingly interesting stories, because these are the authors who are at the forefront of writing. They are building their own formats, GIF stories, video essays. All these were pilot projects or experiments of independent authors, and only after that the big companies took interest in it. And it is for these authors that we open Zen sponsorship program. Our best writers will become eligible for a monetary reward from Yandex.Zen. This year, we want to spend $1 million on interesting stories. We want to give this money to you, our new writers. So, we have touched upon two important things: how to find and retain mobile audience, those people who want information quickly and who want this information to be relevant, and how do we make money, how do brands make money and authors make money. We have all these solutions. Get yourself registered, set up your channels, start publishing your stories on Yandex.Zen platform. But we've missed one important point. How do we tell stories in the internet? A couple of words about this. As strange as it is, but this is a paper clipping from an 18th century newspaper, but there is there is very few difference from what we see on the screens of our platform, smartphones now. But mankind should have come up with something new, right? But you still see the same black print on a light background. But we want to see something lively, something magical, something truly interesting and catching. And that's exactly what we have come up with. And I'm delighted to introduce the new mobile format for storytelling. That format is called narrative. What is the difference between a narrative and a text? Because a narrative consists of a sequence of screens and not text blocks. And you can flip through these screens. So you have a cover, then you have up to 10 screens which may be animated with GIF pictures, and the final screen. The final screen which will take your user wherever you want this user to be. It will take to the next narrative or to the web page or to the internet web page. We have been testing this new format in cooperation with our partners, and I would like to share the results with you. This is the Nike narrative. As I have told before, we are testing this concept in cooperation with our partners, and today, right after the presentation, I'm inviting you to visit Zen booth so that you could take a look at the narratives of our authors, brands, and publishers. In other words, those who were the first to test it and try this format. And in the end of this summer, you will have a chance to practice on using this format on our platform. So from today onwards, Yandex.Zen is not only a platform for content distribution, it is also a platform for content building. And Victor has already mentioned that artificial intelligence will become the key element of the system, and I totally agree with him. But only masters or grandmasters can use these tools so that they get pieces of art. So I'm calling for you to use Yandex.Zen to tell stories about new products. I'm calling for you writers to participate in our partnership program, Yandex.Zen. I'm welcoming you all to this platform. Thank you very much, Daniil. And another new thing. We are changing the format of our classified report, right? Remember previous years, we have been telling in a great detail about one single product, and today we have 3 different announcements. We've just told you about Zen, and Zen is a way to share your thoughts and ideas with big audience of Yandex. But in marketing communication, you still got to be mindful not only about the intrinsic values and the inner world of your brand, but you've got to be mindful of the outer world. Just yesterday is a great example. We had a big storm, which could make you forget about all sorts of inner world aspects. So we've got news about weather, and I'm delighted to welcome Dmitry to this stage, and he will tell you about the ways how our artificial intelligence can be used to your advantage. Dmitry, you're welcome. Thanks, Andrei, and hello to you all. My name is Dmitry, and in Yandex I'm responsible for weather. We have been telling you a lot of things, that how great it is to advertise things, how great it is to know things about people, how great it is to give relevant music to those people when you know what music that is, when you know which products person is looking for in the internet and which products he finally buys. But Andrew has made an excellent point now. In the world, we have a big number of external factors which are totally unrelated to our emotional situation. But anyway, they have an impact upon decisions which we make, and weather is exactly one of these factors. Let me illustrate this point with a number of figures, how weather can shape our behavior. When the weather is nice, people tend to go out to the street. Plus 18, it's a sunny day, and statistics is telling us that people tend to walk the biggest number of steps during such days. But let's imagine a cloudy day. For some reason, women walk 30% longer distances at these days than men. If you add drizzling, you will see men walking 18% longer distances than women. And finally, if it is really cold outside and people don't walk out, people from capitals all over the world tend not to go out at -8. That's what they do in London, Paris, or Rome, apart from Moscow. In Moscow, weather does not matter. Being dependent on the weather, that does not mean to feel yourself bad when the weather changes. Being dependent on weather means that your behavior depends on the weather outside. I'll give you another example. Taking decisions very quickly. That's how people order taxis during precipitation. So highlighted in red, you see those areas in which people are ordering more taxis than normal. So you see, there's almost perfect correlation. So people make decisions just within the first minute after they know the weather. And what I have just told you about, that relates to offline aspects. Yes, weather does have an impact on our behavior, but not only that, weather has an impact upon our behavior even when we stay home. And when we are in the internet and it is a sunny day, there is a sunny day outside, you are more likely to click on a banner showing you a glass of juice. Because during the cold days, people are more likely to click on a cup of hot coffee. And what does Yandex Weather has to do with it, right? What does it have to do with it? We are working out AI technologies which can work to the advantage of our users. And that relates to all our servers, and first and foremost, that relates to Yandex Weather. And so what is so useful about weather forecast? It's accuracy. If you say that there will be raining on Thursday, there should be raining on Thursday. And you should be seeing exactly the same weather as forecasted in your smartphone. In order to improve accuracy of our weather forecasting, several years ago, we started working on Yandex Meteum. That is a combination of traditional weather forecasting methodologies and artificial intelligence. To start with, I'd like to say a couple of words about weather forecasting. This is a very high-tech industry involving more than 100 satellites on the orbit of Earth, and these satellites are transmitting petabytes of information on an hourly basis. So that's a huge volume of big data. There are meteorological stations base stations which are located on the ground, and all this infrastructure, all this hardware is required to show you the right weather forecast. And in order to build this forecast, we need very complex mathematical models which take into account all the data from previous weather research. However, the user who goes to your website is totally unaware of this. The user can be sure of only one thing, that a weather forecast is bound to be wrong all the time. And we have an algorithm for weather forecasting, and this algorithm is searching for mistakes in the weather forecast, and it is correcting these mistakes. And finally, that it refines the weather forecast which you see in your smartphones. And we put our bet on accuracy. First and foremost, we are taking a look at the forecasted temperature. So you've got to get the temperature right, otherwise people will be distracted or will be disappointed. So we are making 25% less mistakes in forecasting the right air temperature as compared to our colleagues. If you take precipitations, the situation is very similar. It is important to be very accurate in forecasting precipitation so that you don't have to carry an umbrella in those cases when you don't need it. And you will be taking it only when we forecast this. Our technology is 40% more accurate in forecasting weather precipitations as compared to our competitors. So it looks like we have achieved our target. We have built our accurate forecast and we have delivered it to the user. But the weather forecast is a conventional thing. Everyone has it, right? You see weather forecast on the TV screen, you hear weather forecasting in radio broadcasts, and we decided to add a magical element to our weather forecasting. And we needed data for that. Which data I mean? I mean data from weather radar. Weather radar is the state-of-the-art machine for scanning an area and indicating those points where it is raining at the moment. That helps us to build an online weather precipitations map. And yesterday that map was extremely popular. But we're not limiting our opportunities to that. Our technology helps us to build a weather forecast with accuracy down to several minutes. The neural network is analyzing the data which it gets, and it is looking for areas where the rain is just about to start or the rain is just about to stop. All these pictures are filtered through the predefined set of filters, and finally we get an accurate weather forecast with accuracy down to several minutes. We are able to tell people that the rain which you see out of the window now will stop in 10 minutes. So we've got it very accurately, both in terms of actual weather and in terms of time. Then we asked ourselves a question: what if not only people are impacted by weather, but entire industries may be impacted by weather? Having analyzed this information, we realized that all industries
in the world are dependent on weather. Everything depends on weather. It's the crop which people will collect on their fields. It's energy consumption in the regions or cities, and the traffic on your site also depends on weather. The number of clicks on your banner depends on the weather. We're talking about marketing at this conference, and I will give you several examples how people very efficiently use the weather forecasting in order to arrange high-class marketing campaigns. And this is an example of Reduce, and they at their sites would show the current weather. And the difference of his model was that the model on his banner was dressed appropriately to the weather. When it was raining, she had an umbrella, and when it is cold, she would wear some warm things. And this very interesting trick increased the traffic on this on his site on 34% with a very simple trick. And online we have a great number of examples to use to improve the conversion of the promotions due to the precise weather forecast. Say Hof, they demonstrate that the weather is always fine when a person is in the office, and a person is sitting comfortable chair, thinking about good weather at his country house. And it is applicable not only in our country, it's globally applicable. And the Walmart, as the largest retailer, is using hyper mobile weather data to rank the goods at their sites. If the temperature goes up, then they see that the cooling equipment is becoming more in demand, and this trick generates 27% increase in the sales of this equipment. And maybe you heard about music streaming, Spotify, which allows you to listen to white denim music only at the point when it's raining. And this is not just a creative trick, it's something which is a promotion campaign for no space company. And to sum up, the behavior significantly depends on whether both offline or online. We in Yandex know about weather everything, and with the accuracy of a minute and a day. And from today's on, the weather data and hyperlocal weather forecast, which are generated by Yandex Meteo, will be available to all of you through our API. Thank you for the applause. By getting the access to Yandex Weather, you can actually do two things. And the first is to associate yourself to efficiency of your business. And we did it. The traffic at Yandex weather site is increasing when the temperature is dropping, because people wanted to see when the good weather is coming. And the second, we can use our API instrument to look into the future and plan efficient decisions for your life. And I wish you very profitable weather. Dima, thanks. The second part of our secret report is over. We spoke about great, rich, internal, inner world of people and companies. But there is another aspect. Everything is fine with the inner world. Everything is great with the weather. But you have a toothache, and then what happens? Well, let's concentrate on this. Everything becomes irrelevant when you have this ache. And we are very much dependent on good health, because we are all mortal as human beings. Therefore, I invite on the screen the head of the Yandex server, which is called Health, Grisha Bogunov. He's a celebrity in this. Just press the button to show your name. This is my name. And good morning. As Andrei said, I came here to talk about health. You can see I'm not very much healthy looking with that. Therefore, I'm the best in Yandex who knows how difficult it is to care about your health. And for centuries, the humanity treated their health and health services as a very peculiar way. They believe that they are living in the house with those double slope roof. If you are healthy, you believe that you don't need to care about your health. You just go on with your life. If you're on another side, you are categorized as ill, and then your life turns into continuous treatment, that's visits to doctors, and it continues for centuries. And people lived this way always, and nothing will change in the year 20th centuries. But people didn't believe that there is this threshold, this entering the condition of a sick person and becoming healthy again. It's a process, and we live now in the world where we don't have this threshold. It is just a kind of round-shaped roof, and therefore you have a lot of products around you which are aimed, focused on people with just believing that they're living on a slope, and these are people are healthy, but they want to invest in their health and becoming more healthier. And some people who are not feeling sick, but they may feel some ailment. Mankind invests a lot of efforts in order to get healthy, and there are a lot of products which are focused for those which are on this top of the roof. Weltery is one of the companies which I like, and they use the data on your behavior, and they just by judging your heart rate, they can prompt what kind of changes you need to introduce into life to feel better and to never get sick. Sick, and it's a great example. And I saw fitness bracelets and watches on your wrists, and they collect a lot of information, but they are quite cumbersome. And we have another example, Ola Ring company, which manufactures a ring, and it also collects medical information. And the bracelets normally just show your performances, your indicators, but these Ring guys can actually suggest what kind of changes in your lifestyle you can introduce to sleep more, to feel better, to be healthier, because and to live longer, ultimately. And these products are becoming more and more numerous, and it happens not from the vacuum, but because people are becoming more and more interested in becoming healthy, and the company has an excellent source of information to monitor. Say, a question: how much water you need to drink? And there is an opinion that the amount, the volume of water you drink has a direct impact on your health and your sentiment. And the demand of water grew 5 times. People started to think about becoming healthier 5 times more often. There is another example. There is also a request of treating some ailment, and they are looking for these answers for treatment when they are already ill, and the demand of those who seek the medical information grew 2 times for the last 5 years, and this cluster of information is 7.5 million requests a day, and 70% relates to treating some specific disease, some broken leg. And if they ask the internet, what shall I do if my leg is broken? And Yandex answers with a set of references and some information and forum discussions. And then people are not satisfied with this answer. It can be a truthful answer, but we are not sure who is the author of the article the person read, and we don't know where this information comes from. And in this setting, when a person has a broken leg, has that some yogurt can be applied on this spot, and some people still follow this kind of advice without checking the credibility of the source. And this internet treatment is awful. Therefore, people, when they treat themselves with the help of the internet, they don't go to the doctor. They're not getting professional advice. And we started to think about, because we thought about it, because getting to the doctor is a tedious procedure. You need to get registered, referred, and then wait in the line. And people are panicking when they think about going to the doctor. So internet is available. That's why we decided to shorten the distance between getting ill and the visit to the doctor. And it is Yandex Health application, and where you can find a nearest health center, and then go there, get registered, and bypass calling so to registration, and then finding a time slot for you, and it will be quite more rapid. And I used it, and I see many people around also using this app, but there is one but. I can show you why this application doesn't solve even half of the issues. So this is the map of Omsk and nearby regions, and it demonstrates the availability of health services and or doctors, and this is the heat map of all health institutions in the city. If you are downtown in the city of Omsk, on average, you can take this application, press a button, and get registered, and then go to the first floor, and there will be some outpatient clinic nearby. But if you are 15 kilometers from the center, it takes hours for you, even an entire day, to visit a doctor. And for just a simple advice, and we wanted to address this issue and to resolve it. What can we do to shorten the distance between occurrence of the disease and the visits to the doctor? And how can these people get the consultation quicker? And we launched a service, a distance counseling service with physicians. In order to talk to a doctor, you just use Yandex Health application. You fill out a small questionnaire, then link it to the map, and wait for a physician for consultation. If they're still busy, write what worries you, what disturbs you. If you have some laboratory test findings, include them, and then you can switch on video link, and then the physician will write a report which will be there in the application. Only after the consultation, some money will be written off from your card. And this service, thank you for the applause, this service is available right now. You can come to the web store, Google Play, and install this application. The service works 24/7. At every place where there is internet, you can get online consultation from a physician. It is very cheap. The first costs only 100 rubles. It's a very simple procedure. It is available for any person, and this is available not only for us, but for our children and our grandmothers and fathers. And we started with two specific professions, therapists and pediatricians, and these are those range of issues which are easiest to get consultations. Say, if you need this ear, nose, throat specialist, then they need to examine you. Therefore, we will, of course, develop the list of available specialists, and quite soon you will see some updates in the application. And when I talk about this application to my friends, they ask the same question. Question number one, which is most frequent: how this data about those data from bracelets, will you actually show it to physicians? No, right now we are not furnishing this data to the physician, because this data of no medical value, first of all, and the second is too early from the viewpoint of medicine. We don't know how to handle this data. Mankind doesn't learn how to use this data efficiently, but we build a system which more or less will allow to collect certain health data on you, and this data ultimately can be used to build a large system of artificial intelligence which will give you 2 most powerful tools. A tool for physicians to more efficiently treat, more confidently take medical decisions. And what's even more important, these instruments will allow you as just patients or people who care about their health to be healthier, happier, and live longer and feel better. Yandex today showed you 3 large, as I believe, products, important products. This is Zen for content generation for authors of brand, which allows you to generate content and bring it to large audiences. It's API Yandex Weather, which allows you to build a business with the considerations hyper-local forecast and online consultation Yandex Health, which will allow you to radically change your attitude to your health and feel healthier. Use reference, install these applications and see how it works. And I hope that we did our best to change your life to the better. Thank you very much.